What's up, everybody? Welcome to S.W.A.T MMA. That's smoking weed and talking mixed martial arts. This is episode number 40. We are coming to you from Las Vegas. My name is Jarrod, and I'm here with my good friend Paul.
What up?
On today's episode, we are going to be talking all about some controversy surrounding Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series. We're going to be looking at the shocking results from the BKFC 6 Lobov versus Malignaggi card. We're going to be talking about the amazing return of the Korean Zombie. We're going to be discussing some of Sean O'Malley's controversy with the USADA, as well as taking a look at boxing, Tyson Fury, and the state of the heavyweight division. But first, Paul, let's talk about our weed of the week.
Smoke weed every day.
What were you just hitting on there? I got some Cherry OG here.
Some,
same
sour
as
diesel
before.
shatter here.
Sour diesel shatter. That's a cool dab rig. For those that can't see it, it's blue and green. And this is an electric one, so it hooks up to this little thing over here. Is that the temperature right there, 712?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, it heats up and then goes to, it fluctuates.
That's cool. I know a lot of our viewers tend to listen to us on WBUZ, but if you're on YouTube, you can check that out. I like this piece, too. It's kind of cool. Although this cord is something I'm not used to, since we usually break out the torch with that. How's that sour diesel, though, man? I don't know if I'm going to hit it, because I got, I don't know, after that surgery, I'm still scared of big coughs.
Yeah,
honestly.
I feel you. It's nice. I like it.
Dude, it smells good. It's got a good color to it. Those of you that are listening, if you don't know what shatter is, it's just a form of concentrate. And it's called shatter because of its tendency to break a little bit like glass. It's good for dabbing because it's easy to handle. It's not super sticky like a wax or a butter or an oil. This is a good color one.
Yeah, I like it.
I might have to hit that, actually. A little later in the show, I think I am going to have to take a hit of that, for real. And in the bong here, I got some Cherry OG. That's the same weed we had on our last episode, but you know what? It was so good, I decided to go out and buy some more.
It's a way to do it.
Dude, weed can be hit or miss, you know, but a lot of people might not know here in Nevada still, even, what are we coming up on 2 years into legalized cannabis here?
Yep.
And our fucking weed quality is still hit or miss.
Yeah. One big thing that we didn't talk about before the show, but we should talk about a little bit is now we just had a recent law passed in Nevada that you no longer can pre-employment drug test people for marijuana. What do you think about that?
I think it's about time because marijuana users historically have suffered persecution at the hands of drug testing because marijuana stays in your system for up to 30 days in your fat cells, so you can smoke a joint on your vacation at home. In like where I come from, Colorado, there were people getting fired for smoking weed 2 weeks ago on their vacation. They come into work to fail a drug test. They're getting fucking fired.
There was a big class action lawsuit. I can't remember what company it was, but it was a guy who was disabled who had medical marijuana.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
It was like it was a huge settlement. So I think that kind of set the precedent for like everything, every other state that they don't want to deal with something, or company that they don't want to deal with something like that. Because even out here, the major like casino companies talked about even before this law was passed that they weren't going to do it anymore because of situations like that.
Well, at some point you run out of potential employees.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, let's be honest, in the restaurant industry,
let's
which
put it
we
this
both
way.
have roots in, there's a lot of weed smoking going on.
Oh, yeah.
When you're in a state where it's legal, you're doing nothing wrong. How can you dictate to people? It'd be like saying you can't drink beer in your
I was just gonna say it's like if they tested for alcohol.
Right. Oh, you had a beer on Saturday, and today's
done.
Tuesday at work.
Fired.
You're fired.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine? People would be out. They'd be like, "Fuck you! You can't do that."
Yeah.
But that's been happening to marijuana users for
Years.
ever since they started drug testing.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, comparatively, you could do like a line of fucking coke at work, get drug tested fucking 2 days later, and you're fine.
Yeah.
Like,
It's crazy.
You can smoke weed on your vacation. I think somebody could have flown to Amsterdam, even if it was way before there was any legal weed here, smoked legal weed there, come back here from vacation, and still faced bullshit.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. So I think that's great news, man, especially here in Nevada when so many people are employed in the hospitality industry. To have drug testing in the hospitality industry for marijuana is absurd.
Yeah, ridiculous.
So,
but yeah, that's a good thing.
About time. You know what else we got coming here? Although it's still up in the air exactly how it's going to work, but we're finally going to have some fucking weed lounges here.
Oh yeah.
As well, which is a good thing for everybody listening.
Absolutely.
That's a big question that my other show, the Las Vegas Marijuana Experience, gets a lot of people asking is how the hell do we smoke weed once we get there?
Yeah.
But so that's good. We got
Yeah.
progress.
Fucking finally.
I know. But back to the original thing, yeah, you can still get crappy weed in dispensaries out here, so it happens. And it'll
Yeah,
be
but then
expensive.
also you could also get some really good weed that you weren't expecting. Like I got this. Remember for a couple shows ago, we got a solid eighth of like it was like that Mystic River or something like that. It was a $30 eighth, and it was really good weed.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah.
Got that from Nuwu, right?
Yeah, new. Yeah.
Yeah, that was tasty. And this cherry OG, I like.
So yeah, like you said, it is hit or miss. But like honestly, you can find some gems sometimes.
You can, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. There's a lot of growers here that are good, but there's also, for whatever reason.
Honestly, you know what's
Small
one
crack.
thing that nowhere really lacks in like the dispensaries here is all the wax across the board is pretty fucking good in all the dispensaries.
Yeah, I think that once you're clearing out your imperfections, which is why I like buying things like this shatter that you have right here in dispensaries, is because you get that lab testing, so you know you don't have any leftover solvents.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know, folks, when you're listening, a lot of folks use butane or propane to extract, to make the shatter or wax or butter or hash or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You can also use CO2, but it doesn't work quite as well, and a lot of people use the other. So that lab testing is important
Yeah.
to make certain you're not fucking.
Dying. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
you're not inhaling a bunch of leftover fucking propane or
Yeah.
butane.
Yeah, I feel you.
So, but yeah, I think once you're clearing out your imperfections, you're left with a decent product, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm definitely gonna have to hit that sour diesel, but I'm gonna hit this. I'm gonna hit this cherry OG and this bong right here, and let's talk about let's folks. If you're not watching, you can watch Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series. It's on ESPN Plus now, right?
Yeah.
It's running right now. It's like an 8-week thing where there's
Brings
an
in
undetermined
prospects all
number of
over.
people who will win a UFC contract, win, so to speak, be awarded one, depending on whether or not Dana White likes your performance. Is basically what it boils down to. Am I right?
Yeah, basically.
But there's no set criteria for anything, correct?
no.
There's not even a set number of people who get contracts, right?
Nothing's really set in stone in that show.
And so there
You
was
know
some
what?
controversy, right?
Quick note, I
Yeah.
want to make. You know what's really funny? That Ariel Helwani compared the Tuesday Night Contender Series to. He's like, it's almost like gladiator status, like where the two guys fight, then the camera flips to Dana, and he goes
He does
thumbs
the
up,
or
thumbs down.
Damn, you're right.
And then there's no one, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then you get a contract or you don't. Like, so it's like, I don't know, man.
That's a good comparison.
And he treats it that way as well. Like,
We had a guy last week who did not get a contract.
yeah, Brendan Longnine.
And the reason that he didn't get the contract was, according to Dana White, because
He sealed the victory with a takedown in the last
10 seconds left in the fight, he goes for a takedown. And so Dana's basically saying, in a fight that he dominated against a strong wrestler,
Yeah.
and did quite
And
well
a tough
in.
motherfucker, dude. Everybody who knows the sport around all different media platforms have said that was going to be the toughest fight of the night, those two were the most talented going in. So,
And Longmain goes out, and he fucking dominates him.
yeah.
And then his contract is
Dominates
pretty
him.
much in the bag, right?
Yeah.
Except 10 seconds left, he goes for a takedown, and Dana says that ruins the whole deal. He doesn't get a contract.
He like
Doesn't
started
matter.
freaking out too, like a little kid, like God damn it, like making little
This is
stupid
absurd.
It's like, dude, you are fucking ridiculous.
Takedowns are. I mean,
Takedowns-
wrestling is the number one base you can have in mixed martial arts. I think that's agreed upon across the board at this point in 2019, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So what the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah, that's basically where I'm at with it as well. Is okay, so you're gonna literally dock the guy for sealing a victory?
What's he supposed to do? Run in with his chin out, winging punches?
Yeah.
Maybe get knocked out in the last second?
Well, and one thing I do want to bring up is like I was saying before, is if that's the biggest matchup of the night, how can you judge these people on a level playing field if they're all in different weight classes and they're all at different levels in the game? Like, how can you compare what he did to the guy who the heavyweight who got the knockout and got the contract, or was he heavy?
So there was a heavy,
It was a heavyweight, right? It was the heavyweight, light heavyweight. I can't remember him, but he was one of the guys who got the contract, and he got a quick knockout. And it's like, okay, so was he on the level of were those two on the same level, or was that a test for a guy you wanted to bring in to juice in, like a Greg Hardy? Like, were those two guys that Greg Hardy fought, were they UFC level, or did he just want to see him literally blast two guys real quick? You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy, although he has a huge background in Manchester, and he's got Tyson Fury that he like knows and started boxing with, and then he's got a couple guys on Manchester United he grew up with and stuff. So he has like a base, like fan base in his like he's an underground
This is
kind
like
of fighter.
17-3.
Yeah, he's fought in the UFC before.
Fought in the UFC before.
So
Handily wins a fight.
yeah,
Quote unquote blows it with a fucking takedown.
yeah, stupid.
That's it.
And then you turn around and you give a contract to another guy who won by decision also in a fight that I thought wasn't as interesting.
I don't understand. You're right, though. The comparison that Ariel made is correct. It's like gladiators before Caesar.
Yeah.
Just if the whim of Caesar.
And that bullshit,
Just
Dana,
do it,
and my biggest thing is, who do we have in the UK right now that's a big star? Because just look at in the last 3 years, 2 years, what UK stars have pretty much jumped off the map. So Connor, unless he fights this year, he's pretty much out of
Connor's
out of
out
the
of the
realm of
picture.
possibility.
Right.
As of right now, he's out of the picture. Yeah. And then you got Michael Bisping retiring, Jimmy Manuwa retiring, Alexander Gustafsson retiring. Who do you have left? Like, honestly, all your big UK stars are stepping away. You have Darren Till coming off 2 losses.
He was supposed to be the next big deal. He's been shut down. You got the GOAT, Artem Lobov, even for BKFC.
Yeah. But my question is, you have a guy here who's at 145 pounds also, a division that is looking for a real contender. You have a guy who's 1-1 in his last 2 fights fighting for the belt right now. Like, you have like 2 guys who can really fight for the belt. Everyone else has either fought Holloway or lost.
Right.
So you have an
what are they
open
doing?
division.
What is Dana
You
doing?
have the fan base. You're missing a star in that region.
And this is an
what
established
the fuck
fighter.
Are you
He's
doing?
not a rookie with a 4-0
exactly.
record. He could step right in and contend.
And he's never been finished ever in his career. And
Paul.
like, so what the fuck is going on? What is he thinking? Like, I get it. It's his show. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. He can give out whatever contracts he wants and all that bullshit. But at the same time, who cares? Like, if you want this to be a sport, you have to treat it like a sport. It shouldn't be about who got the knockout. It should be about who won and who had the best performance. When,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
100%. What message is Dana sending to the casual fan that tunes into this shit? And then he's like, oh, I guess takedowns are bad.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess these guys suck when they do takedowns. Then
And
they
that
can watch
makes
a fight.
that makes everyone boo when someone gets taken down,
Right.
which is dumb.
And when we just said that the number one base, the
Yeah,
most dominant,
in wrestling is like
is
wrestling.
wrestling.
Right? Most of the champions are wrestlers.
so
right now.
what on earth is Dana doing? It sounds like he should be promoting the fucking bare knuckle fighting
Yeah,
and not
fuck at this point.
not UFC if he just wants stand and bang, bro.
Yeah, should bring him back.
I know. Julian Lane, get that phone call out.
Right, shit. But yeah, I just don't get it. It doesn't
don't
make
get it
any
either.
sense. Really doesn't. Cause
And I'm not invested in this kid. I'm not even sure if I'm saying his name right. Longmane, Longmire, what? I mean, and I don't mean any disrespect. I'm just saying I don't watch all the Contender series, right? But this one here has been a bit controversial. And
Yeah,
it's
because
just ridiculous.
it's just
bullshit.
stupid.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
it's
the
like
precedent.
yeah.
How does the president of the organization send that kind of message out?
100%.
You're telling your fighters stupid shit. You're telling casual fans that something they're going to see regularly apparently sucks.
Yeah, stupid.
Fucking Dana White.
Well, it's like this. It's like this. In any other sport, if you hit a dagger, all the fans cheer. Whether any sport, think about it. In soccer, if you hit a goal at the end, all the fans cheer. In basketball, if you're up by 2 and then you come down with like 25, 30 seconds left, and you hit another 2 or 3 or something like that, and you go up by more, people cheer.
Right.
But why in fighting, when you're up in the round and you just want to put a bow on it, you take somebody down, that's a bad thing.
It's absurd. It's
If you-
not.
this is
People
what I'm
should be
saying,
cheering
like,
equally. Just
exactly.
Like if you clock somebody on the jaw and knock them down, they'd be like, "Oh, yay!"
Yeah, it's like either way, it's like physical. I don't think they understand. Like what the fuck are you like? It's just you're giving the wrong message to so many people that are watching this for maybe the first time.
And even if it's not wrestling, how do you think these jiu-jitsu guys get down to the mat?
Yeah.
They just say, "Hey, let's lay down now."
Yeah,
They have to
it's stupid.
fucking take somebody down.
Yeah,
How does his number one?
and he
fighter
fucking
in
took
the
down a
league-
kid who was a wrestler.
Yeah, he doesn't get any credit for that.
Like, god damn it.
I don't know. Dana is historically all over the place with what he likes and doesn't like, but I think that
And honestly, if that's his criteria for the show, if he just wants finishes, fucking say that. If you don't get a finish, you don't get a
like
contract.
a
Because
finish
then,
with your fists.
well, no,
apparently.
not even that. Even if you get a submission or a fucking knockout.
But it's got to
If-
be a submission that you got on the ground by like knocking them down, right? You
Yeah.
can't take them down and submit them because then you're fucking taking
It's got to
people
be
down.
flying submissions only.
Right. You can do flying arm bars, or you got to knock somebody on their ass. And
Yeah,
then
or you
submit
got to
them,
roll,
right?
or you got to do that Imanari roll. And fucking
Right. Fuck.
Dude, so
Dana.
my point is though, like if that is the criteria that you have to get a finish, say that. Say that at the beginning of the show. Tell everyone that they cannot get a contract unless they get a finish.
100%,
Just say
I
that.
agree.
But
Absolutely.
doing what you're doing here is bullshit.
That is bullshit.
And yeah, he'll probably still end up in the UFC very soon, but he should be in the UFC already. It's my point.
Or if Dana doesn't like it, he should shut the fuck up about it and just keep that to himself. And then
Yeah.
there's no controversy. Like,
Yeah.
he can award whoever he wants to. But imagine if that happened and he didn't react and the kid just didn't get a contract. It's like, hey, we decided to go to these other guys for now.
Yeah. Yeah, he could say stuff like that. I don't understand why he like people love him for that, but hate him. I feel like he takes it to the wrong level. Like he goes into like there's nothing wrong with not deflecting questions, but not insulting people at the same time. You know what I mean? Like what you just said. There's nothing wrong with going, "Hey, why didn't Brandon Longdane get signed?" Well, we just saw some stuff tonight that we didn't like. Not being specific, just like, oh, it's like we saw some stuff from him we didn't see from other people and shit like that. And we just decided to go in a different way.
Yeah.
Because teams do that all the time. Tons and tons of players try out for teams,
Right.
and they
All
get
kinds
cut.
of talented players get cut and don't make it, and other teams
and
pick
that's
them up and they
okay.
make that squad.
That's
Yeah,
okay, but
precisely.
no team like no Broncos coach or something cuts a quarterback and then jumps on ESPN and goes, "Yeah, it's because he couldn't throw the ball past 15 fucking yards. He sucks. That's why we cut him." It's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing, Dana White? Like literally, like you're shitting on your own product. Like literally, it doesn't make any sense. It's dumb. Whatever.
Absolutely.
Let's
It's
move on
fucking
before I
ridiculous.
kill.
Well, Dana, like I just said, perhaps you should go promote some BKFC. Let him bang, bro.
Let him bang, bro.
BKFC Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships held their 6th pay-per-view event this past weekend, which was headlined, of course, by the strange grudge match between former 2-time boxing champion Paulie Malignaggi and fucking Artem Lobov, teammate of Conor McGregor.
And Artem got it done.
Artem gets it done, wins 48-47 across the board, 3 rounds to 2,
Yeah.
gets the unanimous decision.
I hate to say it though, it was one of the most boring fights ever.
Wasn't the best fight on the card, but I liked it. Artem got it done. The referee was not allowing them to clinch for some strange reason. Clinching is fully allowed in.
I don't
It
know
was
if
like
I'm
he didn't
tripping
know.
here, but did the wraps look a little bit more puffy than everyone else?
Whose raps?
Everyone, like the main event. The main event, I feel like their wraps looked a little bit higher on their hand and were a little bit puffier than everybody else's.
I don't know. There was a lot of measuring back and forth. Like Paulie was fucking with Artem and saying he had the commission come in and measure his shit twice. And so Artem did it back to him. So, I mean, they measured the fuck out of him. They were definitely legit. Like, they made the Florida commission come in and do it in the middle of the event.
Yeah.
But
So there was all kinds of
they
weird.
had enough stuff.
There's all kinds of weird rumors coming out right before the fight. Remember, Rumble Johnson put out the fight could have been off because something happened where they went into Malignaggi's room and the commission saw something they didn't like, and then all the commission and the president of the company walked out of the room shaking their head like in disappointment.
Yeah, I saw that too. I did a little bit of research into that. It seems that due to what I just said, where Paulie kept requesting the commission to come in and check Artem's hand wraps.
Yeah.
Artem then said that he smelt something fucking funny on Paulie, and they thought he was using a Vaseline that was scented, and the reason that would be a big deal is that would cause burns in the eye.
Yeah. Like menthol.
Yeah, exactly. If you put a fucking menthol grease and you punch somebody in the fucking eyeball with it, their eyes
you're going blind.
in fucking pain. Yeah. But from what I understand, it was just a bunch of nonsense back and forth. Now, that might not be exactly what it is, but that's all that I could uncover. But back to the fight. Ultimately, what you have is Paulie talked all that shit, and then, yep, it wasn't a knockout, mainly because Paulie decided to throw 5 punches a fucking round and run. But Artem beat him up pretty good. I mean, Paulie looked like his face was fucked up. It was hilarious. He sat there after he loses.
His fucking eye was all split.
And he's got cuts on both sides of his face and a big ass gash on his eyebrow, black eye, like he's all busted up. And then he says, I know I won the fight. I mean, I only got hit one time in the whole fucking fight. Like, dude. No. I think it was pretty clear. I think the first round was, could be either way. The second round, Artem Lobov just froze up.
Yeah.
Paulie stayed on the outside and jabbed, which this is BKFC. This is not boxing. Like, circling and jabbing is not going to win. Like, you're not going to win the fucking
If you
fight.
talk about, like, traditional boxing, Paulie Malignaggi tried to go out there and traditionally box him in a bare-knuckle fight, and you just can't do that.
Well, this is
It
not
was
boxing
working.
match.
It was working on, like, the defensive end, but he just couldn't get any offense out of it because Artem was just constantly trying to move forward and constantly throw. That Paulie was just dodging, trying to get away, jab, get away, jab. Like, that's all, like, he was doing.
And in the third round, when Artem finally decided to just start bum rushing him and swinging, he started fucking Paulie up. I mean, he claimed to have knocked him down twice. It was more like the ropes looked like they might have saved him, but he definitely staggered.
Yeah, that was weird when he staggered him and like they ran up on the ropes and they were fucking like wrestling on the ropes. I was like, what the fuck is going on? It almost looked like an MMA fight. Like it looked like he was pushing him up on the cage almost. Like, dude. But, like, neither of them were throwing anything.
Then in the fourth round, I thought Lobov clearly won that one as well. The same thing, forward movement, bum rushing him in, throwing lots of heavy blows.
Then 5, literally, Paulie ran.
Just ran away from Artem the whole time. Artem was chasing him down all over. And you're never going to win a fight in any sport running away, let alone BKFC. Like, they're really... Remember last fucking...
Yeah,
it was BKFC 5. Yeah. The president tried to threatened to take a fighter's pay away for doing that very thing.
In the end, it didn't happen, but still.
But still, they don't, like... Yeah. So you can definitely say that in round 5, Lobov was... I mean, if there's no fight, if there's no blows landed significant, you have to look at things like, okay, who's the aggressor here?
Yeah.
Who's, And it was fucking Artem.
Yeah. 100%.
And the general consensus that I've seen, the only excuses I've seen to come from boxing purists, like, well, and if you look at it, a boxing technical point, Paulie won. Well,
it's like, well, this is all about damage, motherfuckers.
This is a bare knuckle fight.
Yeah.
2 different things.
Yeah. And then he goes after the fight. He goes, I think I'm just gonna retire now. I can't kind of rebuild a career at 38. So.
I thought it was kind of funny.
And Artem said he wants to box him. I don't think that's a good idea.
I don't think he's serious. He was just riding high from a fucking win. I mean, he's under contract. Like the dude said in the press conference, like he's not fighting anywhere else until his contract's up with BKFC.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
How many fights does he have?
They didn't state, but there was a lot of questions about is Artem now the face of your company? And he was like, yeah, I'd have to say so.
Yeah, for real.
Like,
he beat Jason Knight.
You beat Jason Knight in an epic fight.
Epic fight, yeah. He beat Paulie.
And now he beats Paulie. And say what
Artem
you want.
looked big as fuck, dude.
Paulie is a 2-time boxing champion.
Yeah.
Who, like, What? That's the only fight, the only argument some people can come up with. Well, that like if he was counting on point fighting, that maybe you can make a case that Paulie won on point. I don't know. It's ridiculous, and it doesn't matter. It's
Doesn't matter because it's not that.
It was a unanimous decision, and you know.
People got to live with what it is. If it was anything else, but guess what? It isn't anything else. It is bare knuckle fighting, and they're going to score it the way they want to score it.
And looking at Paulie standing there with his face completely busted up, saying that he didn't get hit. Yeah, just like you won that sparring match with Conor too, right? Man? Same shit, right, bro?
Honestly, like, and the thing is, like, even if it was back and forth, like, it could very well have been just a normal ass spar. But at the same time, the fact that he's so upset about anything possibly being put out, like, it makes it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what makes it funny.
He has embarrassed himself. Paulie Malignaggi came out here, and for a fucking month.
He probably did the same thing with Conor. He probably just, like, got walked down the whole time, did, like, little tiny jabs, and Conor probably hit him with bombs and was fucking beating his ass. That's probably exactly what happened in their sparring match. Like, literally, except he probably was a lot more slower because he was out of shape.
Yeah, exactly. And he probably did the same thing in this as he discounted fucking Conor's skills. Oh, he's just a bitch-ass MMA fighter. Yeah. But
I was really hoping Artem would have at least knocked him down once.
I think it would if the fucking ref would have allowed the clinch. Like, the BKFC has to fix that. Like, I mean, obviously they had a boxing referee who just in the middle of the fight, for whatever reason, just reverts to what he's used to doing, which is busting up a clinch. Yeah. It's not like they can stop it and re-instruct the guy. Yeah. But, I mean, it is clearly.
Yeah, but in between rounds, I think that's on the commission to go to that ref in between rounds and be like, hey, what are you doing? Clinching is legal.
They need to address that. I mean, that would be like if a referee was standing up a fighter who had been taken down immediately every time. Like there's a takedown and he doesn't even, they dude starts to work, no, up. And you'd be like, wait, what? What the fuck? No, takedowns are allowed. No, up. You know, it's pretty significant.
Are they? Are they allowed?
Well, not if you're Dana White on Tuesday night.
On Tuesday.
But
that's the slogan.
Dude, we got to head up there, man. We just found out that the public can go to those Tuesday Night Contender Series, and they're at that new UFC Apex.
Yep.
And they're free. And being the Las Vegas locals that we are, I guess we're going to be heading up there Tuesday, checking out the next one. So we'll let y'all know what it's like. I thought there was that card overall, though, for the BKFC was pretty entertaining. I watched it start to finish.
Yep.
The only fight that I really didn't enjoy was the Lieben-Dakota Cochran fight in the co-main. Lieben just did not look very good.
Did he lose?
Yes. Lost a decision. A fucking decision. But all the other fights I dug. Johnny Bedford won the title. He is their new lightweight champion. Lightweight in theirs 134 pounds or something.
Nice.
But that was a culmination of a tournament, and that dude's now 5-0, I think, former UFC fighter. Your brother's friend Cody beat him in a fight, didn't he?
Yeah, he TKO'd him.
TKO'd. Cody beat him, that was a couple years ago now, right?
Yeah, that was like right, that was probably 2000. It was right before Conor blew up.
Yeah.
So 2013 probably.
Well, with him now with Johnny Bedford now in bare knuckle, I think he's found a solid home. Like,
he's always been known for kind of just going out there and throwing. So
he has got personality that fits with it. The BKFC might have some stars here. They got Beck Rawlings, you know, who's getting a bit of a following.
They got all like the misfits.
Artem now.
It's all the misfits from the UFC.
Got Johnny Bedford, who, man, have you seen him when he gets into the center ring? Because, you know, BKFC, if you haven't watched it, folks, it's a circular ring cage type thing with like these 5 posts that kind of make it. They call it a squared circle. But there's another circle in the center where the 2 scratch lines are, because the fighters start at scratch lines like 1.5 foot away from each other, 2 feet away from each other. And Johnny will stand in the center circle and just fucking point like get in the fucking center with me, bitch. It's so awesome. That's like funny. In the middle of the fight, it's like he came out last night, fucking knocks that dude down, chases him out against the fucking ropes, and then just backs right up to the center circle and fucking points at the fucking middle. Like, get your fucking ass in here.
That's fucking funny.
It's fucking awesome, man. Like,
can you back fist in that
You cannot. I'm pretty certain because Artem accidentally did one and got a warning from the ref. But this is the same ref who's breaking up the fucking clinch, and the announcers aren't even really up to fucking par on the BKFC
I wonder if there's
rules.
even
Like,
yeah.
they're amateurish still in a lot that they're doing. Like their press conference last night was a disaster. Have you watched any of the footage? Jesus Christ, man! Like you can't even watch like MMAfighting.com posted video. You can't hear. Like they had the PA so low that you're watching YouTube videos of the footage put
These
out by
people
media outlets,
talking.
and they're talking. You can hear them kind of like this if you really listen. Otherwise, you just see a bunch of fucking noise or a bunch of people's mouths moving and a bunch of background noise, and you can't hear shit.
Damn, that's all bad.
They literally had construction noise going wherever they were holding it. At one point, it sounded like somebody decided to use a jackhammer for about 20 seconds. And everybody just keeps talking, though.
What the fuck?
It was kind of like their press conferences beforehand. They were a bit like amateur hour.
Yeah.
But I got to say, for this promotion, I mean, they're only 6 events deep. I like what they're doing. They're building
They're on the
some
way,
stars. Every show I've seen has been an improvement. And, like, they're delivering some entertainment here. I find it fucking highly entertaining. And I think you're actually going to see the sport evolve. Like Johnny was doing some different stuff, and some other fighters were that have had experience, a little bit different kinds of defense. One guy was keeping his hand like right on his forehead, which was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But you're just going to see people like adapt a little bit to the rule set and some different kinds of fucking defensive tactics than you've seen in other combat sports. So I'm excited for the future of it, and I hope they keep. I hope this is a good event, and they keep putting out some quality. They just need to fix the minor things, like get an AV team, y'all. Get some professional PR people, and they'll do a lot better.
So there was a couple big fights this weekend. Also, I just wanted to go over real quick.
Yeah, some MMA fights, right?
We saw Korean Zombie go in and just stomp out Moicano real quick.
And Moicano was ranked what?
I want to say 3 or
5th,
4.
I think.
5th? Nah.
Zombie was like 10th, 12th.
I don't know, but basically, Zombie showed, and honestly, everyone kept saying he's back. Honestly, he looked great in the Yair fight and just got caught in the last 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So
I don't think he
went anywhere. I think he's just as good as he was before.
He was winning the fight against Jay Rodriguez
Yeah.
until that crazy elbow, like you just said.
He was kicking his ass too. He was hitting him with tons of combos.
And this is a Moicano that we just saw, coming off the Aldo fight?
Yeah.
His last fight.
I want to say that this last one.
And Zombie
Murked him real quick.
Murked him in his 57
Didn't land a strike.
seconds.
Moicano didn't land a strike on him. It was fucking all Zombie.
Now, he's moved his family and himself to Phoenix, Arizona, I believe.
With Jackson's? Or no, not Jackson's, Mexico, huh?
I think it's MMA Lab.
Oh,
but
MMA
I
Lab.
could be wrong. I'm not positive on the team.
Word.
But there's several good teams in the Phoenix, New Mexico area. I mean, no, I'm not saying Phoenix is in New Mexico. I'm just saying in that general area.
I
New
know,
Mexico,
just fuck with you.
fucking Arizona.
Yeah, that like region.
Yeah, because Jackson's is in New Mexico, and MMA Lab is definitely in Arizona, but I can't
Remember exactly where.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly where. But the point is he's going to be taking his training a whole lot more seriously. Not that he was not taking it seriously. He just had all those military commitments.
Yeah, he had
and
that
he's going to
military
fucking-
commitment. Then he had like a fight, and then he got injured, so he was off for like another year.
He's living in South Korea. I mean, is there really that strong of an MMA team
Well,
presence
yeah,
out there?
and honestly,
Come on.
if anything, it would be him building a team around him, most likely. You know,
He's going to be the best guy around. Exactly. He can come out here and to America and get a lot better training partners.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. People that tested.
So I agree with you. I don't think he went anywhere. I think he's an immediate title contender.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm excited.
Because if you think about it, he could probably get the Yair fight back if he wanted it. In 3 rounds instead of 5, probably. And he would tag Yair up for 3 rounds pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
And then, let's say he gets one more fight. I think he needs 2 more fights before he can really ask for a title shot.
I would agree.
Especially at 45, where things are like we said. They're kind of shallow right now, and he's a fresher face than everyone else. Like I'm pretty sure he's the only one who hasn't really fought Holloway in the top 10,
There's going to be
other
a
than
segment of the
Volkanovski,
fan
obviously.
population is unfamiliar with him because he was gone first on his military commitment to South Korea and then with his injuries.
That makes sense though too, because think Holloway fights Edgar now. Holloway fights Volkanovski next. Korean Zombie after that. If Zombie's able to put 2 more wins together, maybe he fights the loser of the Holloway Edgar fight or something like that. You know, like I would like to see a test like Frankie Edgar for Korean Zombie or someone on that level. You know,
Not giving Edgar much of a chance against Max.
no. I think Holloway pieces him up. To be honest, I think Edgar 2 years ago would be a different story. I think Edgar now is going to lose.
There comes a point in time when you just hit that age limit.
If he would have fought, or maybe not even 2 years ago, like a year. Actually, how long ago was it when he lost to Brian Ortega? If he would have fought Max on that night, would have been the best possible chance at that belt.
Yeah.
Simple as this too is like, if Frankie couldn't take the pace and timing of Aldo's strikes, you look at Holloway, who has put the pace on Aldo, and was, outstriking him. Like how, unless somehow, some way, Frankie dominates him in the wrestling aspect of things, I don't know how he handles Max on the feet with that big range difference as well.
Yeah, there's such a size difference between the two of them. I was looking at a face-off the other day, and it's just like, jeez.
That's why fucking Henry Cejudo's over here is spitting out, I'll fight 145. I'll fight the winner of Edgar Holloway. If Edgar wins, I'll fight for the belt. It's like, yeah, you will, because Edgar's like the smallest 45 or
Crazy.
like
He
the
used to be lightweight
smallest.
champ, and he's still
yeah.
the tiniest.
I know,
Moves
right? Yeah.
down the fucking 45, and he's still tiny.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like
Cejudo
he
got
looks
that.
like he could make 35.
Yeah, I'm sure he could. I'm positive he could. He's 5'6", for God's sake.
Yeah, him and Cejudo would be like very similar size. I
Yeah.
bet.
Frankie Edgar. Well, you can never count him out in a fight. He might
Definitely
pull it
can't
off.
cut him out, but I just
Korean
don't.
Zombie.
Yeah, I just don't think he has enough for Holloway. And Korean Zombie, I think he was so close, man, against Aldo. That was a good
I know
fucking
he had a
fight.
shoulder injury in that fight.
Yeah,
as well.
it was a
which-
close fight all the way too.
It was, even with him being injured. What, he get injured in the second or third round, I do
I
believe.
think it was the 4th.
Fourth. I can't remember. It was a while ago when that
Yeah.
fight happened, but
It was like right at the end of the round, wasn't it?
it could have been the end of the fourth round, actually.
Yeah.
think
Because
that's
I
why
remember
it
that
went
fight
as a
going
TKO.
deep,
Yeah.
and they had he was winning. I think if I remember correctly, it was like either 2-2 or he was up 3 rounds to 1, and Aldo needed the finish, and then he
Yeah.
got hurt. So basically, Aldo finished him.
Well, Korean Zombie back with a massive statement.
What sucks is that was after that he went straight into that military.
Yeah, he sure
Requirement
did. His 2 years
or
of
whatever.
military service.
Yeah, so we don't really know where he's at, like skill level wise, because then he comes out, dusts Bermudez, and then come to find out Bermudez loses the next 4 fights after that. So how great was that win? We don't know. So there's still question marks. He goes out, pretty much dominates Yair Rodriguez for 5 rounds, and then fucking gets slept in the last 10 seconds.
Yeah, the
We're
craziest
like,
up elbow
shit.
anybody's ever seen.
We're like, shit, his skills are there, but he just got caught. So still question marks. This is the first like real statement win he's had since he's come back. Whereas like, all right, he is a killer again. You know what I'm saying? Because when he finishes people, he fucking goes
that was
crazy.
a good finish. The ref let it go for a minute.
But it was so
which is
technical
good.
too, if you look at it, because
Yes,
the way
yeah.
the way that Moicano was defending himself the right way, 100%, and Zombie like forced him to defend himself the wrong way, and then fucking took advantage of it. He kept grabbing that wrist and like pulling it back, and then throwing the punch under it, and like he literally didn't know how to handle it. So then he started fighting the hand, and then he boom just fucking finished him. So it's like. Those kind of things are good to see from a guy that you wonder if he's like he is the same guy we always thought he is basically what I'm saying.
Right. Absolutely.
and that's a good. It's a good thing for the 45 division.
I couldn't agree more, my friend. What's the other fight you wanted to talk about while I hit this?
So we had a belt change hands. Unfortunately, my man fucking Gegard Mousasi dropped the belt.
Bellator
Yeah, he
this
dropped the
past
belt
weekend.
to Rafael Lovato Jr., who's a fucking savage.
185-pound strap over there, coming off his victory over Rory.
He's fucking bludgeoning of Roy McDonald.
And he fights Lovato Jr., who was 8-0, renowned for his Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And what did you think of that fight, Paul?
It was a good fight.
It was a majority decision, right? I believe it was
Yeah.
48-48 that one judge had it, and then 48-47, 48-47, right?
Yeah, so it was 2 ties and 1. Yeah, so there's
No, one
definitely.
tie and then 2 Lovato.
I thought it was 2 ties and 1 Lovato. Oh no, that'd be a majority draw.
Yeah, that'd be a majority draw.
Yeah,
Majority
yeah.
decision. One tie,
Yeah.
2 his way
Yeah.
was enough for the belt to
So
change
I
hands.
think that kind of warrants a rematch. It was a good fight overall, and I don't really think there's anybody else at middleweight that's clamoring for a belt for the fucking title shot. So they'll probably run that back. I'd like to see it a second time. It was entertaining across the board. It was real back and forth. You know, like we saw Lovato have like he'd test the waters early. He had really good grappling throughout the fight. Like,
Yeah, I had Lovato up the first 2 rounds.
yeah, and then
Gegard the
Mousasi
third.
comes out and
Yeah.
probably puts a 10-8 on him. In
Yeah,
the
I mean,
third.
I think there's a strong case for a 10-8 in that third.
Yeah, he fucked him up. And then the fourth is kind of a toss up, and the fifth, I think Lovato sealed it in the fifth.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good fight though. I think it's definitely it's worth a rematch. I'd love to watch it again because it could go either way. Because Gegard, it wasn't like Gegard got dominated. It was a competitive fight. It just he needs to work on his grappling defense because that's really where like those body locks were fucking all day.
For sure. I think Bellator probably will run it back. Cause like
Absolutely.
you said,
Who else is there?
And they're still wanting
And
to
Gegard's.
maximize Gegard.
I was gonna say you got to maximize Gegard's ability to headline these cards at his age.
Yeah, he's got a lot
He's
of...
what 34 now. He's got
with a
fucking
lot of
70
fucking
fights.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, get out of here.
Get another fucking
What's crazy is
championship.
Gegard's only lost what 8 fights now,
Yeah,
9
he's got
fights.
an outstanding record.
It's ridiculous.
He's an amazing fighter.
So yeah, I'd like to see him run it back.
Me too. I think they'll probably do that.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a look up to next week's UFC card.
Big
They're
fight in the
squeezing
heavyweight
one
division.
in before International Fight Week,
Yep.
which we will, of course, be on the scene for. But this weekend, we've got, who is it in the heavyweight division?
JDS versus Francis Ngannou.
Now that we've got the heavyweight title fight sorted out with Stipe getting his rematch against DC.
This is a perennial number 1 contender
yeah,
fight.
I feel like there's a little bit of order now. This is who's going to get the next shot right here.
100%. And if it's not, I will be surprised.
I think only 2 things happen here. Either Stipe's going to win and Cormier is going to retire, which
could very
Cormier's
well.
going to win and Cormier's going to retire.
I think either way. I don't know, because he might be wanting that last one with Jones.
Maybe if he wins here, but if he loses, man, he ain't going to want to go out. What, you going to lose to Stipe, then go down and get your ass kicked by fucking John again?
Ha!
Fuck your whole career up, go out.
No,
a
I'm saying if
two-time
he
loser?
wins and John comes up.
Yeah.
Although we've talked about it, I think John's only fight at heavyweight he wants is DC. So I don't know if he necessarily wants that belt.
I don't think he does right now. I think he's... But that's a whole different tangent. The winner of JDS versus Ngannou is getting the next shot, though, barring
Absolutely.
something crazy happening.
Or John Jones.
Or John Jones, right.
Yeah.
So, who do you like? Junior Dos Santos having a bit of a resurgence here. I mean, he's an old, crafty veteran, but heavyweight people can go through these ebbs and flows. You know? Like, Junior was washed out a few years ago. Now he's back.
You know who's a perfect example of that is Fabricio Werdum.
Yeah.
Fabricio Werdum had a lot of like early success in his career, but then hit a wall in the middle of his career.
Yeah, he hit a
where-
wall named Junior Dos Santos, who kicked his ass, and then he was
Well,
probably
no, not
fucking
even that.
dropped out of the UFC and had to earn his way back. And then
Yeah,
look what happened.
and then he goes into Strikeforce and puts together one of the greatest fucking runs ever, dude. He beats
Exactly.
Fedor. He fucking honestly, if you look at it, not JDS, but
We're doomed.
Werdum is like
Dude,
the
he's
perfect example of like evolving as a fighter.
There's a case that you could say that he's the
a
greatest
goat,
heavyweight
yeah.
fighter.
He beat
based on his
Fedor,
resume. Yeah.
Kane, and dude, fuck, he's beat a lot of people. Arlovsky,
And he beat him.
oh,
Yeah, he beat,
Mark Hunt, fucking, he's beat the names
won the heavyweight title in the UFC
and Strikeforce.
and Strikeforce. Anyways, he is a good example
Of what
the ebbs
JDS
and
could do
flows
right
you
now.
can have
Yeah,
at heavyweight, where you can go on you can have a few losses and then be older.
yeah.
Be fucking 35.
Well, and
36,
if you look
and
like
still
if you
come
look at
back.
it across the board, it happens to tons of guys in the heavyweight division. It's where the old men are. If you look at it, like
Right.
if you look at it, like Frank Mir did the same thing. Arlovsky's done the same thing. Like you go through these. You fight the young bucks, you lose, but then you fight the guys on your level and you smash them. You know, and I feel like this is a really really tough test for Ngannou because I don't think he's ever
Yeah.
fought somebody who hits as hard as JDS.
No, JDS.
Don't get me wrong, Mark.
skills.
What's his name? Never mind. Go ahead.
JDS has skills not just with his fists. I mean, he's very very talented with his boxing skills, but he's got legit ground game as well.
Yeah, he does.
You know, I don't even know who gets it done, but Ngannou's a fucking.
I think
beast.
Ngannou also could put his lights out at any minute.
Yeah, Ngannou could come out, stuff some fucking shit, knock JDS into next week.
But at the same time, JDS can knock Ngannou into next week.
Yeah, it's a really intriguing fight. JDS,
I like it.
He could actually become heavyweight champ again. Think about how
Again,
crazy that is. He could fucking conceivably beat Ngannou and go in and beat Stipe.
Yeah.
If Stipe wins.
Yep.
Or beat Cormier.
Because that's a good fucking fight.
Or
him
fight
and
for the
Stipe.
vacant title is actually what will happen if Cormier wins. Mark my words. But
Not
Imagine that.
not necessarily though, because I think. Listen to me here. This is as a man and as being like the champion and being like leaving your mark on the sport, being DC. Okay, so let's say you beat CB again. So what's that? You win it.
that's the perfect time.
That's
for
a
it.
defense. And then you fight JDS because that's a big name to throw on your resume and head out on. You beat Junior Dos Santos. You have 2 heavyweight title defenses. You're up in like the rankings of like actual like reigning heavyweight champions. You know what I'm saying? Oh wait, no, that's that's what he's gonna do. This is what he's gonna do. I forgot he fought Derek Lewis, so he's defended it already.
Yeah, this will
And
be
then
his
let's say
second
if he
defense
defeats
against
Stipe, that's 2 defenses. Then he beats JDS, ties the record for the UFC title defenses, and pieces out.
I would be inclined to think that would happen if he wasn't. I mean, he's already saying like he thinks Stipe's it and he's done. Like he
Is
came
he?
out and
I
said
haven't
that
seen
again. Yeah, yeah. There's some headlines he just made from when we're recording this within the last week that he thinks that that's it for him because he talked about how he already moved his date back once and now the Brock fight is gone.
Yeah.
But
I can't
mean,
blame him.
It could happen. It'd be good for him. It'd be better than going back and fighting John Jones again. He'd go
Yeah.
out with a winning legacy.
Or fucking Francis, dude. Even if I was Stipe, I'd fight DC. I'd probably fight Francis too.
Yeah, he would have a good solid chance against Ngannou. I'd definitely favor DC against Ngannou. As much of a beast as he is.
Yeah.
DC's so much smaller. You know what I mean? He's so much
Yeah.
smaller than like Stipe. He comes in and he's a little bit different to hit. You can just kind of tuck in and roll his
Yep.
shoulders and get in and get them takedowns.
All
Did you
right,
hit
so
this
then,
ball right here?
yeah,
Yeah, you did? I don't think you did, but that's fine.
I'll hit it again though.
Or you could hit this dab rig too. You should hit something.
Hit something.
You should hit something while we.
We also got a number 1 contender fight. Oh, this is the co-main event.
And that's at 125. We've got Joey Benavidez versus Formiga. Joey Benavidez has a win over Henry Cejudo, but we've also had some news since our last episode
Yeah.
that greatly affects that.
he had shoulder
that's
surgery.
Well, apparently, it's just all that gold, man. He's walking around, he's got both belts and the gold medal on, and it just broke the man down, fucked his shoulders up. Now he had to have surgery,
Yeah.
and he's out the whole remainder of the goddamn year. Now, sorry that happened to Henry. That's a bummer. I'm sure he'll be okay. It doesn't sound serious.
But it
he
opens
just fucked 2 divisions. Dude.
Not necessarily though, because now it forces.
He fucked him when he won. Now he's injured?
Well, no, I don't think he's ever going to go back to flyweight. That's the thing. So I think he can just drop that belt in general.
They damn well better. If they're not going to scrap that division, they need to strip him like now.
Yeah.
For God's sake.
So.
Make this for a fucking belt.
Yeah, not on a fucking fight night though. The thing is, also like if he goes up to like 35 and he stays there, like it gives a chance for because you right now, I hate to say it, yeah, there's contenders for him at 35, but there's 2 guys who kind of have claim to a title shot. Like, I don't necessarily like him very much, but Petr Yan has won 5 straight fights inside of a calendar year.
Yeah.
That's undeniable. And then also, Aljamain Sterling has won 3 fights in a row against all top 5, top 10 contenders and just beat the number 2 guy in the world.
Right.
So, you can't really deny him either. So, why not, while Henry's out, you have them fight, and then Henry comes back, hopefully, the start of next year. In January, and you have him fight early January, February against the winner.
Title.
I don't know about that.
Well, think about how long there's not.
I need to know exactly how long he's going to be out. Because saying he's going to be out the rest of the year is actually really not that big of a deal. For the 30, if he drops the 25 belt and the 35 belt just doesn't get defended till January, February, honestly, it's really not that big of a deal.
January, February would be only if he could start a camp in 3 months.
That's what I'm saying. I need to know exactly how, how long his injury is going to be. If it's going to be like, if the rest of the year is what, 6 months? We got is 6 months left.
So if he can't do shit at all till next year, then he's going to try to get back in shape and start.
But if it's like a 4 to 5 month recovery and he can get a camp and then fight in January, February, not that big of a deal. No need for an interim title. But if you're like, if saying like you are, like if it's going to be 6 months till he can get back into the gym, then you make an interim title possibly.
Okay, then what about the other division? You got to make an interim title if you don't strip him, right?
25, I think he's just going to get stripped, honestly.
Well, they've done it to every other champion, even Daniel Cormier. I mean,
yeah.
Because you can't, because if everything plays out like you just said, best case scenario, he's fighting in January. That means he's still not going to be defending that flyweight title for at least another 6 months after that. And how long will that have
Actually,
been?
I don't know though, because I don't know. He turned around pretty quick when after he fought TJ and after he fought Demetrius Johnson. If you really think about it, he fought 3 times in the last year.
Yeah, but if he wins again in his next fight, right? And then they're going to put another jewel in that belt, and he's going to carry it around. It's going to be that much more weight. He's probably going to injure his other shoulder, man. And then he'll be out even longer. Or what if something happens to his neck with that damn gold medal? Because, if you hadn't heard, Henry Cejudo won a gold medal in wrestling, in the Olympics.
Did you see that photo with him and both Bella twins? They're holding his belts.
No, I seen a photo with him and a couple of girls that, like, I could do better.
Nah, dude, it was like him and both the Bella twins were holding both his belts, and he was wearing his gold medal. It was funny as fuck. They're both taller than him. He's so short. He's so triple C, though, so stop hating.
I'm not hating. I'm concerned.
But concerned. I really don't think... But at the same time, it wouldn't be a bad thing for him to come back and fight Benavidez also, just to avenge that loss.
And to not
man, Benavidez has always wanted. Benavidez has like always been the odd man out of the title picture. Always, it'd be nice to see him get a little bit of shine.
Like he was the guy everybody thought would be. Oh, Benavidez has a chance. He's gonna
be UFC champ now.
No, then because Henry Cejudo came along and was like, "Nah, I'm gonna fight for." 35.
Nah, I'm gonna fuck him up. Yeah. Honestly, though,
he heard the savior talk and Joey got happy, and then he was like, "Oh fuck."
Honestly, hate aside here. When we watched that fight live, me and you both said Henry won.
Which fight?
when he fought Benavidez. Me and you were both
Oh
talking
yeah, no,
about
you're
when
right.
it happened.
We said
Like
Henry won. Yeah,
it,
no, I
it
agree.
was like it could be a loss that he doesn't really care about. Like people are making something out of it, like just to sell the idea that well his only loss ever at 25 is to Benavidez and that can call him back down. But that was like a super close split decision that a lot of people thought he won.
No, you're right.
So I don't know. Maybe 25 is done for him, but I wouldn't mind seeing him back at 25 either. I think I just don't think he's going to spend the rest of his career there by any means. Even if he goes back down, he'll just bounce
Dude, he's
back
spending
up.
more time talking about 145 than he
Yeah.
is talking about 125,
Yeah.
which I admire the man's skills, but let's not get carried away here.
Honestly, and I don't know. I'm kind of in a weird place with 25 in general. Like, is it really staying? Like,
Dude,
was
at
that
this
a
point, we're
PR
half
move?
a year in.
Like,
We thought it was going to get scrapped. We were both at
Yeah.
the end of last year talking about,
Yeah.
all right, this is going to be the
it's
big
over.
change.
Yeah.
And then, well, we're coming up on another fucking fight week, and they're still here.
Yeah. So, are they gone?
All
Dana
9
White
of
said,
them.
yeah, Dana White said that he saved the division. What does that mean? Does that mean that he's going to go out and refill the division with better talent and he just held on to the guys that he thought were like world class? Like that's possible. I don't think that's true, but that's very possible. But
I wish
know
that
what,
happened. But
you know what would be a good idea? If you get rid of Tough and you keep the Contender Series, why not do all the same weight class, 5 fights,
yeah.
and then you sign people
5
from the weight
fucking
class?
dudes, yeah. You could inject a bunch of new life into a division right then.
100%.
And there's enough smaller fighters.
At
all over the
flyweight,
place.
you could do it for sure.
Of course they could. They did a whole fucking damn season of undefeated flyweight champions for Tough. Remember that one?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
What happened? Where is...
Tim
Oh.
Elliott, they cut him.
So he wasn't one of the 9 surviving...
I don't think
Jesus,
so.
dude.
I think it's only.
I remember him
Yasser
saying he didn't want to
Formiga.
fight at 35, that he wanted to stay at 25.
Dude, fucking.
It's unbelievable.
And then think about it. If you're Sergio Pettis, man, Sergio Pettis was a fucking fight from a title shot, and then ends up fucking out of the division altogether, and then loses his first fight at 35.
Right.
Like fuck, man, that's gotta suck.
UFC does so good on some things, and then just between Dana White's ridiculous takedown bullshit in the Tuesday Night Contender Series, and this just what you can only call a bungle of the flyweight division at this point.
Yeah,
I mean, if
he's
those
just
of you listening,
completely
if you don't
mishandled
know,
it.
you can go to the UFC rankings page. In the top 15 flyweights, there's only a top 9 because that's all that's fucking left in the division after they've cut everybody.
Yep, really 8 because Henry's gone.
And
pretty
8
much.
now because the champ is up at bantamweight.
Yeah.
So this is what we
This
need.
was always
We're
the plan, though.
bungling it. Like, yeah, it
This-
was the plan, but then cut it
Yeah.
already. What are we doing?
That's what I'm
Just
saying. This
fucking
was
these
always the
dudes
plan.
over?
Then just
Like-
go. Yeah.
Like, what is Joey Benavidez fighting for here?
Yeah.
Like, tell me.
Like,
See, 'cause I
what are
don't
they?
think he
What are
knows.
they gonna do? Are they just gonna make them all fight out their contracts until their contracts are void?
I don't know.
Like literally, that's what it makes it seem like. It's like, ah, shit, 9 guys still have a fight on their contract.
So
we gotta,
crazy, man.
Like, oh shit, we don't have any more fighters left, and 1 guy still has a fight on his contract. What are we gonna do? Make him fight a
Make him
bantamweight.
fight a bantamweight.
Make Henry come back down.
Well, shit. We can only hope. See what happens. But,
Yeah, it's
I like Henry Cejudo in the Juicy Formega, or Henry Cejudo. I mean, I like Joey Benavidez in the Juicy Formega fight.
for me is boring.
With definitely the winner who I think needs to fight Cejudo. Like,
Yeah.
please. Or make it for an interim title against somebody else.
Or bring someone in from another organization
Yeah.
and fucking make them fight for the title, a vacant title with him and
Yeah,
Benavidez.
who's like the Risen champ or some shit? I'm sure.
Like
they
bring
have
this
one.
one guy. There's this one dude who's the 1 champion at 125. He's hella good, dude. His name's like Demetrius Johnson or something like that.
Really?
He's not champion yet, huh?
I don't know how they're doing it. He's not champ yet, though. No, and he's not
shit.
fighting for the title yet either.
I think he's in like a tournament.
I was gonna say I think there's a tourney going on here.
He got out of the first round then. He's fighting again soon. I heard like August.
Yeah, they just signed him and Alvarez to fights.
Yeah. I think
sure.
Eddie, that's a quick turnaround for Eddie. I don't like that.
I don't like seeing fighters get KO'd and make a quick comeback like that either. I agree. Well, speaking of comebacks, we had one from one of our favorite fighters. It was all scheduled to come in here fight week. I was excited to see him again. I had a chance to talk to him last year at fight week in person. That's Sean O'Malley, a friend of Cannabis, to say the least.
Yeah.
And
Pop.
he gets...
Pico
Well,
Graham.
what happens is the Nevada State Athletic Commission reacts badly to the USADA saying that they found trace amounts of the
Sneakograms.
same fucking, what is it, Osterine? So that's what it was, right?
I don't know.
It was the same thing he was flagged for. It's very similar to the John Jones case, basically. Is he's got a substance that it was a contaminated substance. It was in a supplement.
Yeah.
He got a 6-month suspension for it because of that. And now it's coming back that he's still testing positive for it. USADA says they're not going to punish him. It's the same thing. Nevada says, wait, pump the brakes. We want to fucking look into this further. Just like they did with John Jones, which resulted in that event getting moved from Las Vegas to California so he could fight Gustafson. But of course, Sean O'Malley's not John Jones, not headlining the card. Nobody's
So
going
they
to move
scrapped
the
the
event. Now the fight has just been scrapped, and O'Malley will once again.
What's
maybe we
strange,
can
though, is
bump into him since he won't be fighting.
What's strange about it is they have a lot of time before that fight is going to happen.
Yeah, it's
Like-
basically a little less than 2 weeks from when we're recording this.
Yeah. So
And
I wonder if it's just not that big of a deal to them to really like
they probably got
expedite
a
it.
quote
you
unquote
know?
full docket. Yeah, it ain't John Jones.
Yeah.
It ain't Floyd. It ain't Connor.
Yeah.
They're like,
Whatever, dude. Just get your picograms together.
I feel bad for Sean.
Yeah, it sucks.
I mean, ultimately,
And the fans, that was going to be a great fight.
yes,
Marlon Vera's no fucking joke. That would have
No.
been awesome.
that's going to be a very tough fight. You got to feel for Marlon Vera because it's going to be.
I
A
wonder if
showcase
they'll
fight
just
for him.
reschedule it.
Do you feel that
Outside of
O'Malley
Nevada.
bears any responsibility here, or is USADA testing too low? Are they
Yeah,
going down
I
to
think it's a
such
little bit
minute
of both.
level?
It's a little bit of both. Like, yeah, I don't know if USADA should be putting out when they're finding that small amount of like shit in your system. Like that's a little much. But at the same time, what the fuck's it doing in there? You know. That's
Yeah,
just
'cause
kind of
if-
how I feel about it in general over everybody. Like even Jones, like I'm like shit. Like I love Jones as a fighter, but sometimes it's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's just how I feel about it in general. It's just like if it's in there, what are you doing? But at the same time, yeah, they're definitely testing at small, minuscule amounts they shouldn't be testing for. There needs to be like the NFL is the same way. The NFL has like barriers for what levels like you can have. You just can't have past the max amount that they say should be. You know?
Right. And so you raised an interesting point because it does boil down to, you're right, even if it is a contaminated supplement, meaning something that's supposed
Yeah.
to just be creatine or whatever.
Yeah.
And it comes down to that the manufacturers fucked around and put something in it, which is what happened in O'Malley's case, to the best of my understanding. The fighter still chose to go
With a
buy
company,
a substance
that he
that's
didn't
not
trust.
on the, because USADA gives them a list of supplements that they approve of
Yep.
that meet their standards that they can use, and it is a choice not to use those and to go do something else.
Yeah.
If you don't do that, it doesn't happen. Now, it's not nearly the same as if he went out and bought some fucking Osterine, or however you pronounce it,
Yeah.
if I'm not saying it correctly, and ingested it purposefully. Like, two different
There'd
scenarios.
be
two
definitely
different
like
levels of
crazy
guilt and
different more.
responsibility
There'd be
right there.
crazy more levels in his system as well.
But on the flip side, you have USADA finding this and then coming out and saying, but it's giving no performance enhancing benefit to the fighter, which is what they said about O'Malley here, and it's also what they said about John Jones. And
Yeah.
which raises the point of, then why?
yeah.
If it's not giving any fucking benefit,
What's
It's just
this
this teeny, tiny fucking amount that with your high
Why
levels
sanction,
of testing,
yeah.
you can now fucking discover. Why are we even discussing it? It's
Yeah.
pointless then.
And what the fuck happened? I thought we weren't announcing when people are failing tests again.
Right.
Why didn't that card
So-
just disappear?
What are we? Because that's why they're finding these picograms. And if folks, if somehow you're not up to date and you're listening to us, you're wondering what the fuck picograms are. It's basically comparative to like if you had an Olympic-sized swimming pool and 1 granule of salt.
Yeah.
Like that's the amount that they're finding. Like the swimming pool is the human body, and the fucking salt would be the goddamn picogram or whatever.
Yeah.
It's trace amounts that are left over. A lot of scientists think the general consensus, if you can call it that right now, based on the limited research that's available, is people think that it's getting trapped in fat cells, and then when weight cutting is occurring, it's causing these substances to come out, which is why Sean O'Malley's been tested plenty of times up till 2 weeks before the fight. Why is it happening now? What was he fucking doing? He's cutting weight.
Yeah.
It's the same thing John Jones was doing. He'd been tested a bunch of fucking times, and he starts cutting fucking weight, and then these picogram levels start going up that they're finding. So, yeah, it's not for certain that that's what's happening, but that seems to be where the evidence is pointing, right, Paul?
Yeah. Well, it's like a newer study is the only problem. There's only so many cases of it is the issue.
And there's substances that are illegal, so you can't conduct a regular study in a lab with it. You can't just go buy some of these banned substances and test it. So,
Yeah.
you know, we're learning as it's going, but that's to me pretty clearly where the evidence is pointing. A lot of people try to fucking blame the fighters here. And yes, both Jones and O'Malley bear some responsibility, but ultimately I think the buck stops with USADA. If they're saying, no, the fight can happen, it's fine. We're just letting y'all know there's a tiny bit in him. Well,
Why? Why even say that?
if it's not enough to trigger a failure,
Yeah.
and you're saying we're not even going to punish you,
Yeah.
but you are punishing him by releasing it and allowing the commission to freak out. Now Sean loses his payday. Now Vera loses his payday.
Yeah.
Now the fans, we get punished. We lose the fucking fight.
Yep. And if it's at that small level in Nevada, has done the study on the case of John Jones after the fight had already happened, which I'm pretty sure they probably have. So they have, because he's fighting again in Nevada. So, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
they should already have information on this shit and just be like, okay, what are his levels? And if they can go back to that and be like, okay, well, then he's fine.
Absolutely.
You know, it just doesn't make any sense.
I think this is a problem that 5 years from now, we're not going to be dealing with it. It's going
I
to be
fucking
like,
hope not.
it's going to be like, remember when people were suspended for nanograms of weed? You know, nanograms are way bigger than picograms, by the way.
Yeah.
fucking Diaz getting suspended for like having over 150 nanograms. Picograms are that's like, it's a whole nother fucking level.
Yeah.
At that point, they weren't even testing for fucking picograms. Like, this is all brand new shit.
Absolutely.
They got to do something about it.
Yeah, definitely.
In the meantime, people are getting boned over, all of us. So,
You know who isn't getting boned over, though? The fans of boxing lately.
dude, you're right about that. Especially the heavyweights.
Yeah, fuck, man. I know we're a little bit late on this,
Yeah,
but
we haven't had a
Tyson
chance to
fucking
talk
Fury
about it.
looked great.
Tyson.
He looked awesome.
From every aspect, from
The showman.
the lead up
Yeah.
to the fight, the showmanship in the walkout,
The defense, everything.
the fight, the offense, the defense, what happened in the ring afterwards, and then the interviews that happened after that.
Yep. And
It's
before
been
that and
amazing.
everything. Yeah. He is saddling himself.
Kudos to fucking Tyson Fury. I mean, I was a fan before.
You know what he's doing right now? You know what he's really doing? Is he's going, like, they've agreed to fight, like him and Wilder are going to fight. But you know what he's doing? He's making himself the A side right now. He's going out there.
Absolutely.
He's going out there and going, these people aren't buying this pay-per-view for you. They're buying this shit for me. You know what I mean? So, I think he's really doing it, too.
Yeah,
Because his videos go viral, his fucking, all his things on First Take, everything.
it was his first appearance in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Not his first fight in the U.S., but his first fight where people kind of knew who he was a little bit more.
Yeah.
He's much more in shape than he was for the Wilder
Yeah.
fight.
He's weighs the same, but he has so much more muscle.
Yes, and he was looking much more like he just fought a few months ago. And he comes out there, he fights Tom Schwartz in
Boxes his fucking head
24-0, 16 KOs, I do believe.
Yeah.
And the number 2 ranked contender facing the number 1 in the WBO, I think. And man, put on a fucking masterclass.
Oh, yeah,
Then
he's
in that
trashed
second
him.
round, he's slipping fucking punches like he's little Sweet Pea Purnell Whitaker up on the
Yeah,
ropes.
it
I'm like,
was
what
crazy.
the fuck is happening right now?
Yeah, it was nuts.
You can see it all on YouTube, folks. And I tell you what, you should check it out. If you haven't seen this, go on YouTube. You should watch his ring walkout, which was amazing. He
Yeah, that shit
fucking
was
comes
hilarious.
out to Living in America in the full Apollo Creed Rocky IV setup. I mean, he's got the exact outfit on, the hat. He's
Yep.
dancing. He's got the fucking showgirls. James Brown fucking singing. It was amazing.
It was awesome.
Amazing. And then he comes out and he does that. He wins. Then what does he do, Paul? He gets on the microphone.
He starts singing Aerosmith to
He
his
sings
wife.
Aerosmith to his very good-looking wife that comes up into the stage, and it turns out the guy can actually sing. Like, he's not embarrassing himself.
That shit was funny. He's a fucking
Christ,
character.
He's a fucking
and I was like,
star in the making.
Yeah.
Not in the making. He's already a star.
Yeah, he's
America
a fucking,
just got introduced to him.
He's a
right
fucking
there.
character, bro. Dude, he does no wrong at this point.
No, if he just needs to keep this up and keep winning fights, and he needs to fight. And not knocking Tom Schwartz, I think that was the perfect opponent for this. He needs to fight slightly better competition,
Yeah, maybe
in the
Andy
lead up
Ruiz.
to, one of these other quote unquote champions.
Nah, I think him and Wilder are the only ones left, honestly. I think him and Wilder are the only ones left to fight.
Yeah,
I think AJ's eliminated himself from the equation.
absolutely. That's what happens when you fuck around.
Fuck around and get smoked, dude. That's what happens.
I knew that wasn't going to happen to Tyson, but still, you had that in the back of your mind pre-fight.
Yeah,
like,
it's
damn,
like,
we just saw
shit,
Andy
bro.
Ruiz fucking knock out Anthony Johnson.
And Joshua, yeah.
I know I got Rumble Johnson in my mind because
Yeah.
he played such a role in last night. Like he's all over the fucking BKFC shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, with fucking AJ.
I don't know, man.
Tyson Fury though is making boxing exciting.
Exactly.
And he's not the only one, but boxing tends to go where the heavyweights go historically. We had this
Absolutely.
terrible downturn with the Klitschko brothers because
Yeah.
they were boring as fuck.
And they
in
just
power
yeah.
for so long. I mean, what was it, 12 years?
Yeah.
I mean, it was so long that Tyson Fury saw Klitschko when he was 14 and was like, I'm going to beat him. And then he grows up and beats him.
Yeah.
Like, that's how fucking long we were stuck with these guys.
It's weird.
Who, while they had these great runs, were
He's
not.
got some great stories, too.
really
You ever hear that story about him and Klitschko?
The sauna story?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that one.
That was
He
just
does
intense.
have good shit. He's just going to continue to blow up at this rate.
Yeah.
And he said he's going to fight in
savage.
America exclusively here.
For the next 4 fights.
Yeah.
So, that's awesome.
We just need Wilder to get by Luis Ortiz. He signed that rematch.
It's a fucking tough fight for him, man. I don't know.
It is. Ortiz is tough.
Ortiz is a fucking 176-year-old man who's got fucking
He's got that 176
granite chin and granite fucking hands.
And he did rock Wilder pretty bad in their first fight. I mean,
But
Wilder's got that
Wilder
win
did
over
put him
but
away, though. He's tough.
He's tough.
It's a tough fight. I like it.
I'm excited about boxing. I'm excited about Tyson Fury. That dude, I haven't been this excited about the heavyweights. Between him and Wilder's fucking touch of death.
I heard
Let's go, boys.
Fury is possibly fighting Dylan White next.
Dylan White holds some kind of belt, doesn't he?
I think so.
I forget which one, but it's the one literally nobody cares about.
Yeah, I think that's why.
No disrespect to him.
I think Tyson's trying to pick that one up.
Yeah, it'd be a smart move. And of course, if you folks listening haven't heard, Tyson Fury is the lineal heavyweight champion, which is a big
Yeah.
deal in boxing. I mean, it was a massive
Check
lead
out
up.
my belt, guys.
It was a massive point of topic in the lead up to the fight. I mean,
Dude,
did you
does he
see
have
his
it?
suit
When
with
they're
all
in-
of the lineal champions on it?
Dude, does he do that when he's like warming, like when they're calling and announcing his name? Does his
To
team
walk out holding
Does this
the-
team just
The
like?
fake, the empty air belt. No,
Why not?
they don't because it's not a joke.
Nah.
He is the real heavyweight champion.
I wonder if he takes that to the negotiation table. He's like, "Give me the fucking. I'm the fucking champion. God damn it."
You don't think he does, dude? He was wearing a suit that had all the other lineal champions on the suit. You
Yeah.
can see that shit? That shit was pimping.
That
and
was on
like-
ESPN, right?
Like, he walked out, ESPN had the tunnel when he walked out of all the, he's walking by all the fucking other lineal champions.
Oh, that's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
They got all the same belt. That's cool.
You want a clown. What you don't know is serious. It's the serious shit in boxing.
Yeah. It's also invisible.
What about that Wellborn kid fight?
Yeah, that was stupid. I thought Galahad won that
I
shit.
thought he did too. Seemed
was
like
bullshit.
they just gave it to fucking Jason Wellborn there.
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck happened. He was tagging. Like, Wellborn was going for huge shots, and Galahad was just staying constant the whole fight. Just piecing him up, I thought. But I don't know. I guess I'm wrong.
I thought the same as you, bro. I was really
Yeah.
surprised by that one.
It just sucks because he'll probably never get that fight back either. Even though a lot of people thought he won, because now that's the third time he's fought Wellborn, and I don't know if you could sell that for a third time
Right.
or a fourth time at this point.
I seriously.
Although
doubt
one
it.
was an amateur fight, still fourth. So yeah, I don't know. That one kind of sucked for me. And then you got Harrison dropped out of the Charlo fight, so now he's fighting I don't know who.
Yeah, that's here in town. Mayweather Promotions is putting it on. They've been they're doing it at the MGM.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember who he's fighting too. I can't remember since Harrison dropped out either.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, yeah, that's. And then we also got Manny Pacquiao, Keith Thurman coming up here.
Yep.
Should be a good one. Keith Thurman saying that if he loses to Pacquiao, he's gonna retire, but if he can beat Pacquiao, he wants Earl Spence next.
Does
Not a
he?
good idea.
He may think he wants Earl Spence next.
Yeah. Is that Earl Spence Sean Porter fight final yet?
I believe it is, but I'm not 100% positive. But to the best of my knowledge, yeah.
That'd be
That's
sick.
a dope fight right there.
Earl Spence
man.
trying to collect those belts.
Absolutely. I think he's going to do it too, but I'm excited for that fight.
Yeah.
Could go either way, really, but I favor Spence in that fight for sure.
Yep. And then Mikey Garcia, Danny Garcia also was
He's
announced.
staying at that weight, which is surprising,
I don't
man.
like that.
I don't like that move. I feel he should drop back down. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he needs to go back down. I think the Lomachenko fight is what'll give him his biggest payday and get him back on track.
Yeah. For sure.
What the fuck do I know?
Oh, I think that about wraps up the show for today, my friend. What do you
Yeah,
think?
I think so.
Word. Well, we're going to get back to smoking this weed. We hope you've been smoking on some good weed too, folks. And you can catch our show on Thursday nights on WBUZ 95, which you can find on the Orange Radio app or radio.net. You can also find us wherever you get your podcasts from and on YouTube as well. Where's all the info at, Paul?
SWATMA.com, where you can also click the gear button and go ahead and support the podcast.
Thanks again, folks. Peace.
Later.